It's your boy. I'm Chris the Don One, and I am back with another video. Let's get the formalities out of the way. Rate, comment, subscribe, and since you subscribe, hit that notification bell so it'll let you know when my next video or live stream goes down. The super chat feature is enabled, so if you want to hook a brother up with a donation or two, you can do so. Now, with further ado, let's get into the trade. The Cleveland Cavaliers, and I've been stating this for the longest, the Cleveland Cavaliers were going to do some serious home cleaning, house cleaning, and they were busy at the trade. All right. Now, the Cleveland Cavaliers done got rid of Iman Shumpert. The Cleveland Cavaliers got rid of Isaiah Thomas. The Cleveland Cavaliers got rid of Dwayne Wade. The Cleveland Cavaliers got rid of even I seem to forget his name, Jae Crowder, Mr. Defense Stopper, Mr. He can shoot a three anytime he chooses so, anytime he do so. They also got rid of Channing Frye. Now, let's start breaking all this stuff down. Isaiah Thomas going to the Lakers. I think that deal, a salary dump deal for the Lakers. The Lakers are not going to have any type of interest of seeing IT to an extension this offseason. Best believe IT will be looking for yet again another home if he wants free agent dollars. Okay, that's basically what that deal was about. Now, in return, the Cleveland Cavaliers got Jordan Clarkson and another player. I seem to forgot his name. Sorry about that for a second there. But clearly, that trade was more in the soul of dumping salary and adding salary to the Los Angeles Lakers. Clearly, they're going to dump that, and that salary that they're going to get rid of with Isaiah's contract, that's only going to increase their salary cap. Okay. Now, let's talk about Rodney Hood, George Hill finally are going to make their way to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And in return, the Cleveland Cavaliers had to get rid of I don't know why I keep saying Derek Fisher. Keep thinking the name Derek Fisher. But the other point guard, Rose, they got rid of Rose, as well as Shumpert, as well as Channing Frye. Now, what they're going to get in return with Rodney Hood and George Hill is another viable option of two-way players that can defend as well as score. Okay, same with Jordan Clarkson. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers got a lot younger with the crop of players that they are invested in. Now, the Cleveland Cavaliers also had to give up their draft pick, but they never got rid of that Brooklyn pick. And I kept telling you guys over and over and over that the Cleveland Cavaliers are not interested in as far as trading that Brooklyn pick. Now, if you listen to a lot of sports writers, a lot of beat writers, they say, well, what is that Brooklyn pick? How is that pick is going to amount to with the Cleveland Cavaliers? No, you're not going to get a superstar talented NBA all-star with that pick, but you also have yet again another piece you can add to the crop of players that you have under contract for next year. Okay, Dwayne Wade going to Miami was the Cleveland Cavaliers and Dan Gilbert way of saying, we appreciate you taking a buyout from the Chicago Bulls, and then thanks for the thumbs up, and then come join us making less money, so we're gonna do you a solid and send you back to the Miami Heat. He was going to sign with the Miami Heat next offseason anyway. This was just simply a pit stop. And clearly, like I have said in several videos, Dwayne Wade is a focal point of the Miami Heat. history and the organization. And when he does retire, which I feel like Dwayne Wade is going to retire at the end of this year, he's going to be in the office. He's going to be upstairs with the Miami Heat with Pat Riley and those fellas there. Now, they did notify LeBron James that they was going to trade away their friend. So LeBron James kind of softened the blow a little bit with Dwayne Wade. But Dwayne Wade is extremely happy. All right. He's back home, and he's back on a team that can contend with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay. Now, are they going to go deep in the playoffs? No. But they do have a lot of promising young pieces there with the Miami Heat side of things. Just a quick second on Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas is clearly going to be the backup for Alonzo Ball. The Isaiah Thomas is not going to the Los Angeles Lakers to start, and I'm pretty sure he knows that right now. So he's clearly going to be a backup. He's clearly a rental, and like I said, the Lakers have no interest in signing him. Okay, Channing Frye, Iman Shumpert, those two players, when you look at them, they wasn't really bringing nothing to the table for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are clearly role players. They're no longer starters. So it makes sense to get rid of those two assets. Okay, D Rose, he's going to Minnesota. Minnesota desperately needs a point guard. No, not Minnesota. He's going to Utah, and they desperately need a point guard since George Hill is no longer there. All right. Now, do everyone remember the rumors out there that they were interested in, getting George Hill, and they was going to have a lineup like Isaiah Thomas and George Hill? It would have been a small lineup, but they was going to utilize George Hill at the 2, sometimes at the 1. He's really a 1 guard, okay? But just to have him on the court alongside Isaiah Thomas, alongside Derrick Rose, that helps those two struggling point guards. Now those two struggling point guards are on new teams, okay? So George Hill clearly going to play the point. That's only going to make the Cleveland Cavaliers team a lot better. Now, the roster that they have in place right now, they lost a lot of depth in their bench, okay? They used to rant and rave how they was deep in every position. They don't have that option no more, okay? They maybe have 6 guys that they can depend on, and the other ones can be in place in certain situations, but you can't guarantee on their scoring or as far as getting a defensive stop, okay? But they still have enough to be in the East, in the running for the East. Clearly, the road to the playoffs is going to be extremely rough for the Cleveland Cavaliers, okay? But they're a lot younger, okay? You have to look, those are the pros. They're a lot younger, they're a little bit more athletic, and they're more hungrier, okay? Last night and the night before, you could see how everyone was not interested in, they're just going through the motions. And I think that's mostly due to the part of people are noticing LeBron James is coasting. So they're saying, well, hey, if he's coasting, I'm coasting. Okay. Now with this new nucleus, they're a lot younger, and the hustle plays are going to increase. The loose ball plays are going to increase, and the perimeter defense is going to increase. I think this puts, if everything plays right, I think it makes the defense, the Cleveland defense, instead of being in the top 30, one of the worst teams in the NBA right now, when you're talking about defense ratio, it makes them a lot better, okay, of particularly what they have. All right. Now, what does this mean for LeBron's future? Even if LeBron leaves, and I've been on the record telling you guys, the only way LeBron leaves if they really have a falling out between him and Dan Gilbert. Even though they don't respect one another, even though they don't see one another as friends, at the end of the day, Dan Gilbert needs LeBron James just like LeBron James needs Dan Gilbert. I'm about to explain. Dan Gilbert needs LeBron James to make the market value of the Cleveland Cavaliers franchise high in value. Okay, so you got to have something to attract a lot of investors to invest in the Cleveland Cavaliers. All right, LeBron needs the Cleveland Cavaliers because really this is the only franchise where he can push his own weight, so to say, and get what he wants. Okay, so a lot of people are saying reports that in the offseason, LeBron James might go to the San Antonio Spurs. He might go to the Golden State Warriors, you know, teams like that, so he can still get a chip. The problem with that is if he goes to those organizations, he loses a lot of power and a lot of authority. He will be just like a regular guy on those franchises because those franchises have already won. They already have a foundation in place when you're talking about their office. And when you're talking about their coach, they have a no-nonsense type of coach that's not going to put up with a lot of the diva-type behavior LeBron James possesses, okay? So that leads me to believe that he's coming back to Cleveland because Dan Gilbert needs LeBron. LeBron needs Dan Gilbert. Enough said, okay? So if you're talking about this trade, it makes the team a lot better. You don't have a bunch of one-way players. Jae Crowder was a one-way player. The only thing Jae Crowder can do when he was with the Boston Celtics was a defender, and he can hit a open three. Okay, he wasn't a very good defender in the Cleveland roster, and maybe that's part of the Cleveland system, or maybe that's a part of Jae Crowder, or maybe that's a part of why Danny Ainge and Brad Stevenson are so good at their jobs. Okay, maybe Jae Crowder was benefiting from the system of the Boston Celtics, just like Isaiah Thomas. Okay, so that's from the perspective of that. Okay, you had a bunch of one-way players. I'm about to say Jalen Rose, Derrick Rose, Derrick Rose. He's a one-way player, but he's an older athletic player that hasn't incorporated other aspects to his game other than his athleticism. All right, and he's been injured most of the season, so he can't display that athleticism. So Derrick Rose was in the same boat as Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas is injured. Okay, he's another one-way ISO player. He can only do one thing great. Okay, the same could be said for Iman Shumpert, J.R. Smith. You know, a lot of those types of players, the Cleveland Cavaliers had those type of players. All right, so now they got some players that are good in are decent in other areas. Okay, I think George Hill is going to really be a valuable focal point part of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Jordan Clarkson, likewise, the same, even Rodney Hood. Okay, so those are three players right there that makes your starting lineup a lot better. Okay, you're not making exceptions to the rule for D Wade. You know, when D Wade was clearly, even though I felt like in the beginning of the season he was a better two-way guard than J.R. Smith, and then J.R. Smith got a little testy about it. But Dwayne Wade couldn't do it on a consistent basis, okay, because of his age. All right, now getting him out the lineup, and now you're depending on a lot of these athletic guards, a lot of these athletic younger players. It's only going to make the Cleveland Cavaliers a lot better. I think a lot of these deals, the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to be very successful in. Okay. And that's pretty much all I got to say there's more that went down in this trading deadline. We'll talk about that tomorrow, hopefully today. But I just wanted to cover the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers made some great moves and some great change, and change was needed with that organization. All right. So it is what it is. Guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Don One, and I am out. We're also going to be talking about Jimmy G's new contract with the 49ers. We're going to try to do all that today. If not, I'll push it alongside tomorrow. It's your boy. I'm out. Deuces.